Good morning, everybody. I have some good news and I have some bad news. The good news is that today we are working on the bikes. The bad news is that today is probably the last day that we're working on the bikes because I think that all of the stuff is getting delivered today, so we're taking off. So if you've been enjoying these little, I don't even know what to call these kind of modification videos, this is possibly the last one. First thing we're gonna do is we're going to add some support to this because I want to put my bag right here, but that little floppy bit is not holding it up. So we're going to hook this up here and then we're going to attach it to this rod. Luckily I was smart this time and I didn't just throw away all of my extras, which is going to come in handy because I'm going to need them while working on this. Okay, so I'm thinking we're going to get a long screw, we're going to put it through here, we're going to wrap it around the pole right there, and then we're going to bolt it in. Something sort of like that, except it'll stay on the pole. Screw the bolt on a little bit. Okay, it was an interesting idea, and it does sort of provide weight. I just need to get a better way to hook it in there. I see a little hole right here. I wonder if I can use this hole as a mounting point. I would use a zip tie, but we've already found how incredibly weak they are. Ooh, hey, I can use one of these little angled brackets and use that to set it on top right there. Screw it in. Okay, there we go. That's a much, much stronger system. That'll hold a backpack. Now I just gotta go put thread locker on it to make sure that none of those bolts come out. I also need to change my back tire. I was hoping that the cut that the homeless guy did would just like seal itself because of the slime, but my back tire is flat, so it is not sealing itself and we need to change that. There we go. I know it's a tad janky, but I promise it's solid. Then when we want to load the backpack up, we put the backpack here and we take the loop of the backpack and we put it around here. This just gives the top part support, and we'll take the bungee cable and we'll wrap it around. Actually, feeling the bottom right here, I think I want to extend the shelf a little bit. It feels like this backpack is different from my other one, and so it's a little bit front heavy. I'm thinking we'll just put an extra piece right here just to extend this a little bit. I'm not going to pull this thing all the way out because I still want the bike to be slim. I still want it to be able to like fit through doors. So I just need like this little extra bit to be able to hold the bike, or to be able to hold the bag. You know, I wonder if all of these modifications will hurt or help the resale value of these bikes. Like once I'm done with these bikes and I'm ready to go sell them, do you think somebody will pay more for them because they've got all of these things that make it easier to carry stuff? Or do you think they'll pay less because they're not stock and they're used? Obviously, they're very used. I have no idea. Hopefully it helps the resale value. Okay, let's give it a test run. We pull the bungee cable out, put the bag inside the bungee cable, let the bag rest on the shelf like that, and then wrap the top part up there. We'll take the shoulder, I'm not sure what you call them, the shoulder things, pull them up front, and then pull the bungee cable down. I think that's solid. Next up, we need to go to that thing we built yesterday, and we need to tighten all of these bolts. You can see that it's already falling apart because I did not tighten them and I did not put thread locker. So, yeah, all of the bolts are coming loose because of riding on the road. Honestly, I probably should also come through here and like sand off sharp corners, but I don't want to do that right now. And a lot of these things are kind of rounded, so it's probably okay. I probably can just loosen the bolts, put the thread locker on, and then retighten the bolts. I probably don't need to take everything apart, hopefully. Oh, another thing, you guys see this little string thing that I made? It turns out there's actual things that are built for that. I got some at the store. Basically, you took this and you bolt it in, and you can just run the string through this. I think that this, oh, maybe that won't fit. Well, shit, okay, I thought that was a good idea. This whole process takes so long. I really hope this improves the resale value of these bikes. Whoever's buying these bikes in the future, remember all of this work that went into them. It might be shitty work and really, really ghetto, but it was work. Okay, last test. That should hold. I'm honestly not sure where my stuff is. It should have been delivered by now. Okay, next on the agenda, let's get this brake light moved. So interestingly, they are not using thread locker to keep their bolts on. They are using crush washers. Once I get this off, I'll show you what that actually is. But basically, it's a washer that once you crush it, it adds tension. I can't get this with my fingers. Yeah, see, check it out. It's got like thorns on it, and when you push it down, the thorns come into the bolt and they make it to where it can't twist anymore. Okay, and the brake light is held on with 2 bolts on the back, and it's got this little Molex connector you'd see on like a computer fan. And then I think that we're just going to put it like right... Oh, hey, perfect, the holes line up. How cool is that? That's convenient. How cool is that? Now I've just got to get this connector to reach, which means I'm probably going to have to splice it off and connect some wires up there. It is so hard to show how this works with one hand. Okay, now we just need to put these washers back on this side. Okay, let's put the tent back and make sure everything looks good. We are going to cut the wire in the middle right here and then splice the extra length in between the two sides. Okay, update. I've actually got to take the whole unit up to my apartment because that's where all my wire working tools are. And I don't want to try to splice wire while it's attached to the fucking bike. Yeah, we've got 4 wires we need to splice. You're going to want to use a serrated knife to cut the plastic off. That way you don't accidentally cut through the wiring. The little divots in the knife will help protect the essential components. Here we go. These are the 4 wires we need to extend. Yellow, red, green, and blue. It doesn't matter which ones go where as long as we connect them to the same side on the actual other end of the light. I have a bunch of heat shrink here just to be able to protect the wires and stop them from shorting out when we connect them. This is basically electrical tape, but it's really cool because once you put a lighter underneath it, it'll shrink up and make it really compact. First, take the wire that you're going to be extending and slide a piece of heat shrink onto it like that. Take your 2 wires and twist them together. That way they've got electrical contact. And then take the heat shrink and then slide it on top of the metal so that the metal can't touch anything. There we go. See? Now we're going to take a lighter and we're going to put it underneath this so that this will shrink down. Now we're just going to repeat that process for all of these other wires. Again, the colors of the wire don't matter as long as I just match them up with the correct color on the other end. Four wires extended. Good. The lengths are a little bit different, but that's not that important because we actually want extra. We definitely want to be longer than short. Right here is the green wire, so I trace this back to here and I find that this is the wire I need to connect it to. Okay, there we go. We've now made the wire much longer, but one more thing I want to do is I want to wrap this in electrical tape. This should be waterproof. This should be fine. I just want to make sure that it's stronger so that if something tugs on it, these wires, they can't really resist. I'm not sure what pulling part is, but if we wrap this in electrical tape, the electrical tape will provide a lot of support to it. And boom. Let's go attach this to the bike now. I probably have to repeat the exact... Oh, no. I don't think I need to extend this brake light. I just need to pull it down. So I don't think I need to do any wire work for my bike. Then we just pop this guy back in place. Oh, my fucking God. Please tell me I made it long enough. Oh, barely. Fucking barely long enough. Holy shit, that would have sucked. I think. Maybe I got it. Maybe. To actually get it in the plug, though, I think I've got to take the seat off because I can't reach my hands in there. There's 4 bolts I got to take off to get the seat up. Okay, let's see what we got under here. Yeah, see, this seat is not adjustable. You cannot change... Oh, hey, this is the horn. Just a little speaker. That's interesting. I think that this is where the brake lights get plugged into. Actually, let's take a look at all of this stuff, because once I get the second battery, I'm going to have to plug the second battery in here somewhere. Which one of these is the power? Okay, so I'm assuming that this one is the battery. Just because it's the thicker wires. And then this one is the one that controls the motor. Yeah, so... Yes, this is the battery. Once the second battery gets here, I'll show you guys how to wire that up, because it's not as simple as just connecting it. You gotta use a voltage distributor to make sure that one battery doesn't end up like supercharging the other. It's a component, and I'll show you guys how to connect that later. Let's get the brake. Let's feed it up through here. Nope, get back in there. I just want to test it real quick. I'm gonna push my handle on the brakes. Perfect. The brakes work perfectly. Fucking hell, the mosquitoes are coming out. I do not like the mosquitoes. I'm going to have to take the seat off once we get the second battery to be able to wire it up to the controller. So I'm not going to screw this on very tight, but... So I think I'm going to wait to change my inner tube on that until tomorrow because I don't want to be out here while the mosquitoes are. This is what the brakes look like with the tent on now. Much safer. Okay, so my stuff was not delivered today, which means I have no idea when it's going to get here. But the only thing that we need to do now before we leave is get the second battery, wire it in, and then we can bounce. Oh, wait, we've also got to get the pannier racks that'll carry clothes and whatever. But this is the final form. Laptop on one end, backpack, tent, and then we'll hang the sleeping bag and the sleeping mat on the sides of that probably. And then this will be replaced with the actual battery. So she is almost ready to go. I will catch you guys tomorrow to go replace the inner tube on my bike. Okay, before I close out the vlog, I've got a request for everybody that's in America right now. There's an app, if you look in the description of this video, there's a link for an app. It's called Bingo Cash, and they're paying me almost $5 for everybody in America that downloads the app and opens it once. $5 is huge. Normally they do like $1 or like 75 cents. So $5 is insane, and it's not gonna last very long. So if you guys wanna like help me out, go download that before they take this thing down. Oh, once you download it and open it once, you can uninstall it. You don't need to keep it on your phone.